Hi, it's Dr. Sam Robbins. Today I'm going to discuss how you can naturally increase blood flow and improve circulation to your legs and feet. Now, do you have poor blood flow to your extremities, such as your hands, legs, or feet? Or do you have cold toes, fingers, or hands? Maybe some numbness or swelling in your feet, or even restless legs at times. Now, if you answered yes, then please pay attention to today's information because this is usually a symptom of a much bigger problem, which can lead to heart disease, diabetes, or peripheral vascular disease, also known as PVD. Now, most people rarely think about blood flow or circulation or what's happening inside their veins and arteries because they think, well, my heart is pumping and I can see my veins, so things must be working fine. But this isn't always the case, and that's why a heart attack or stroke is called the silent killer. It's unexpected and can happen at any moment. Now, the other major problem is that many people, including doctors, are so focused on, lowering cholesterol that they forget that the proper blood flow and circulation is the real cause of a heart attack or stroke. And I know this from personal experience because about a year ago, my dad had a stroke. Now, despite living a very healthy lifestyle, right? He was eating well and exercising daily. He had normal cholesterol, blood pressure and blood sugar levels, and pretty much doing everything his doctor told him. Now, luckily, he recovered about 90% to where he was before the stroke. And this is mainly because he was so healthy to begin with. But I really want you to pay attention to this topic because I don't want you or your family members to suffer like my dad did, because you can definitely prevent and fix this problem and improve your blood flow and circulation. Now, this is a very important topic because when you have poor blood flow and circulation, you're in danger of suffering from numerous health problems and diseases, such as, heart disease, which might be a stroke or heart attack or blood clots, high blood pressure and kidney damage, diabetes, which can lead to numbness in your extremities, hands and feet, or even amputation, mental and memory problems, such as, you're slower thinking, poor memory, Alzheimer's, and even depression. Muscle loss, because lack of nutrients in the muscles causes weakness and fatigue as you get older. And then sexual problems. This is a big one. Erectile dysfunction affects most men over the age of 40. In fact, I would say 35. Accelerated aging, your skin, your hair, poor eyesight, varicose veins, and so forth. And then poor sleep, insomnia and sleep apnea and other problems. All of this is because your blood carries oxygen and nutrients to every organ and cell in your body. So when there are restrictions, such as the narrowing of the arteries, plaque buildup, thick blood, and so forth, your body is not functioning optimally, and the nutrients aren't being delivered to your cells, heart, and brain. Now, genetics aside, the typical causes of poor blood flow and circulation are smoking, diabetes, obesity, poor diet, very little or improper exercise, stress management, and also the lack of key nutrients such as vitamins and minerals. Now, the good news is that all of these causes are fixable and they're under your control. And that's what I'm going to quickly discuss next. So there's lots of natural ways you can improve poor blood flow and circulation, and you don't have to take harmful drugs such as Plavix or Coumadin or even aspirin. Now, the first is to stop smoking. And I think by now everyone knows how bad smoking is because it increases cholesterol, it hardens the arteries, and causes blood flow vessels to constrict. So if you smoke, make a decision and a commitment to stopping once and for all. The next is exercising. All right, exercising daily is vital. Now, cardiovascular or aerobic exercise is very important, such as jogging and running and swimming, biking are all great. Of course, a daily brisk walking, can be done by anyone, so you have no excuse not to just get outside and take a 20 or 30-minute walk daily, or at least just 3 times a week. But most people don't realize or know that anaerobic, the muscle building exercise, is just as important and maybe even more important than anaerobic. Now, the more muscle you have, the better your blood flow, the bigger your arteries, and the more flexible your blood vessels, which all translates into greatly improved circulation from head to toe. And you don't need much, all right? Just 20 or 30 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week, using cables or dumbbells at home are great. Even your own body weight is a fantastic start. Then we have diet. And as the saying goes, you are what you eat. So the first thing to do is reduce or eliminate animal protein and animal fat. Now, you should also reduce sugar intake because high insulin levels corrodes your arteries and the blood vessels. And you should focus on eating more natural whole grains, sweet potatoes, fruits, lots of vegetables, legumes, fish, and nuts. And don't forget the water, all right? Drink lots and lots of purified water to increase your blood flow and the volume. And you should also eliminate all caffeine beverages because caffeine constricts your blood vessels and also increases the stress hormone cortisol. Now, stress management is very important. In fact, speaking of the stress hormone cortisol, now even though you can't stop or eliminate stress, you can certainly learn to manage how you react to stress, which is very important. Now, this is because when you're under heavy emotional stress, your adrenal glands, they secrete, lots of different hormones, which end up causing constriction of the blood vessels, arteries, and so forth, causing you anxiety and panic attacks. And if you're not in the best shape, this can easily lead to a heart attack or stroke. So stress management is a huge topic all by itself and something I'll get into deeper in the future. But my suggestion is something that I learned a few decades ago, and that's the next time you get stressed out, just stop, pause, and count backwards from 10. And I know it's utterly simple, but it really works because it prevents you from overreacting, right? It calms you down and puts you back in control. Now, I've always believed that nature always has the answers, and because of this, you rarely need prescription drugs, certainly not for long-term health solutions. Now, when trying to find natural alternatives for my dad, I did a lot of research and tested numerous supplements before I finally discovered the best ingredients and combinations, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So let's first discuss vitamins and minerals. Now, certain vitamins are very important. For example, magnesium. Statistics show that 87% of people are deficient in this amazing mineral, which is needed by the heart muscle and helps the vascular system. Magnesium also requires calcium for proper absorption, so make sure you take calcium as well. But the one major problem with minerals, especially the calcium, is that it can collect on the walls of your blood vessels and thus reducing their flexibility and having a negative impact on both circulation and blood pressure. And because of this, you need to take vitamin K2 and specifically the MK7 version to help remove calcium from your bloodstream and shuttle it into your bones where it's needed. And there are 3 other vitamins that are also very important. It's vitamin C, D3, and E, utilized together. In fact, in one clinical trial showed that this combination helped reduce heart attacks by over 50%. Next, we have amino acids, specifically 2 very important ones. The first is a special carnitine blend utilizing acetyl L-carnitine, L-carnitine fumarate, and glycine propionyl L-carnitine, also known as GPLC. Now, this specific blend dramatically improves circulation, reduces the hardening of the arteries. And then the next is something called N-acetyl L-cysteine, which is NAC, which helps remove heavy metals and toxins from your blood while boosting your immune system and also cleansing your liver. And finally, we have herbs, which are very powerful. In fact, the 3 most important herbs for improved blood flow, circulation, and improved vascular flexibility are nattokinase, white willow extract, and ginger extract. Now, nattokinase helps fight fibrin buildup, which is an insoluble protein formed from fibrinogen during the clotting of blood. And it forms a fibrous mesh that impedes the flow of blood, which is not what you want. Then we have white willow extract, which is a natural form of aspirin, and when used in the proper dosage, helps naturally thin your blood and acts as a natural anti-inflammatory without the side effects. And then finally, ginger extract, which is a fantastic compound because it helps fight against atherosclerosis, which is the hardening of the arteries. All right. Then it inhibits the abnormal platelet aggregation, which is a part of the blood that can clump together and cause blood clotting. So it prevents that. And finally, it increases contractile strength and ATP production in the heart, which is all great stuff. So now you might be thinking, geez, I don't want to take 20 or 30 pills a day and buying a bunch of bottles and herbs. And I don't blame you, right? Who has the time or money? And this is the same problem my parents and I had. Fortunately, there's already an all-in-one solution called Blood Flow Optimizer, which contains, all the above ingredients, all the ones that I've mentioned, in the specific clinically proven dosages, in addition to a couple other helpful ingredients. Now, the feedback has been amazing, and since the product has been around for many years, you know it's safe and it works. Anyways, there's a video about this, about how Blood Flow Optimizer works, how you'll benefit, the clinical studies, the customer reviews, and the feedback, and a lot more. Now, combined with the proper lifestyle and other suggestions I've made today, Blood Flow Optimizer can dramatically improve your results and make reaching your goal much easier and faster. So while it's fresh on your mind, take a look, click on the link, and then let me know what you think about Blood Flow Optimizer.